Restore basically is a concept that God gave me in 2003. I was coming out of prayer and God began to deal with me that he would show me the root of all of the issues that teenagers were going through, because I was fresh coming out of being a youth pastor and traveling as a gospel rapper. So restore is basically, understanding that the epidemic of fatherlessness is the number one epidemic in the world. And if we can fix that, if we can restore fatherlessness or restore fatherhood, we can change the world by giving proper identity to the entire generation. Well, actually growing up in numerous places in Belleville, Michigan, Southwest Detroit, I experienced what it is to be fatherless. I had my actual biological father die when I was 4 years old from a tragic car accident. And then I had a stepfather, and he was a wonderful man, but he didn't understand the concept of what it is to be a father from a biblical perspective. So his entire life, he tried to be a father, but he was more of a male figure. As I said, he was an awesome person, but the impact that it had on my life, when I began to realize, God as father for me personally, and he filled the voids that was in my personal life, the voids of telling me who I was as a person, because growing up with low self-esteem, growing up with molestation, and growing up with anger and bitterness and all these different things like that, you know what I mean? I needed someone in my life to help, instill within me what it is to be a man. And I know there's a lot of young men that was just like myself that grew up with that same issue. So the impact that Restore had on me was tremendous, because I always tell people, I am restored because, God fathered me. And now that image and that anointing of what it is to be a father, I walk in that with every, person that comes around me as a senior pastor, as a father, as a spiritual father, to whoever it is. Our demographic is something that I believe that hasn't been done before. Most of the time, primarily we go out and we say, okay, I'm going to target the youth. Or then people say, well, I'm going to target the men, or I'm going to target the family. Well, we're going to target to bring fathers together with youth to restore the family. So we use music, we use drama, we use acting, we have motion graphics. We're writing the movie right now. Actually, the movie has already been written. It's called Restore. By any means necessary, from a biblical perspective, we want to restore the heart of the fathers back to the children and give proper identity to this generation. Our target population is everyone, because we literally believe if we can change the men, we can absolutely change the world. So that means that, we want to teach the image and the anointing of a father, teach the authority that those who are fathers actually have, and then teach identity, to a generation that seems to be in an identity crisis. And what does that do for the women? What does that do for the women in the family? Man, that's outstanding, because today you find women so tough, so rigid, so competitive, because I personally believe that, most of them have been without fathers, and then they get married and they don't know how to respond to a husband, even a male figure. And so the Restore movement, is for everyone. This is the message that I have to you, pastor, you youth pastor, you father, you parent, community leader, community activist. It doesn't matter how large our faith is. Faith will never override disorder. And oftentimes we think that, just because I get born again, or just because I identify this situation, that things are going to automatically change. No, see, this whole message of Restore is that, there's many of us who got born again, our lives have been changed, but we still had these glitches. We still had these empty spots in our heart. And this is it. I'm telling you, I promise you, get involved. Do research on it. You'll find 24.7 million children in our country are without a father. And you'll find that anger and incarceration, you'll find that premarital sex and teenage pregnancy and lack of identity, homosexuality, all of these things that I deem to be fruit of fatherlessness, you'll find that the root of it is fatherlessness. We're inviting you, and it wouldn't be the same if you weren't there. So come on out and enjoy this time of restoration with us. We love you, and God bless you.